Here is a 1994 Isuzu Elf camper. This was imported from Japan. And you can see here that the threads are right-hand threads. And we'll be working on a split ring rim and repainting the rim, putting some new tires on. Just want to show off the brand new brake rotors. You'll see that there's also new CV boots. So the rims aren't too bad. There's a little bit of rust where the split is. It's all kind of scraped up, and nothing wasn't too bad of shape. See the backside's just really dirty. Needs cleaned up, repainted. Sidewall of the tires are really bad off. The tread was really bad. Mostly just a lot of bald spots, really rough. Okay, I'm really bad at this voiceover stuff, so I'm going to bring it to professionals. It's my good friend Steve. Steve, tell him how to do this.
Completely deflate the tire by removing the valve core using the Ken Tool T16P and run a wire down the valve stem to make sure it is not plugged. Use the appropriate Ken Tool lock ring tool to pry apart the side ring at the split and insert the tapered end of the lock ring tool at the notch to pry the side ring out of the rim gutter. Two lock ring tools are usually required to pry out the side ring. Use the lock ring tools to pry around the tire until the side ring is free from the rim gutter.
Okay, so this one I took down to the bare metal because this was the spare and it was the worst off, so I just wanted to make sure I got all the rust. But now for paint, my favorite part.
Before installing the tube, vacuum the inside of the tire to remove any debris or foreign material. Make sure the proper tube and flap are being used for the size and type of tire being mounted. Radial tires should have radial flaps and tube. All new tires should be mounted with new tubes and flaps. Never use oversized or undersized tubes or flaps in any tire. With the valve core removed, install the tube in the tire and use a clip-on chuck with an inflating device that conforms to OSHA standards to partially inflate the tube. Insert the valve stem through the valve stem hole and install the flap. Some tire manufacturers recommend lubricating the tube before installing the flap. Check with your supplier. Center the valve stem in the valve slot and lift the tire at the valve stem while pushing down opposite the valve stem. If the flap becomes dislodged, lift up on the tire and push the flap into position, making sure it is not creased. Do not use a hammer to force the tire onto the rim. Lubricate the rim base using Ken Tool BDs or an approved rubber lubricant.
Dawn dish soap.
Lubricate the tire beads and the flap with Ken Tool BDs or an approved rubber lubricant.
Dawn dish soap.
Place the end of the side ring without the notch into the rim gutter and walk the side ring into place. The rubber head of a TG35 or any Ken Tool rubber tire mallet or dead blow hammer can also be used to install the side ring.
Location tracking or allow an app to use your camera or microphone.
Check to ensure the side ring is fully seated in the rim gutter. Do not use a steel-faced hammer, heat, or any other device to force the rim components together.
Well, Apple started this years ago, and they really see it as a...
Here I'm using a bag of 4-ounce ceramic Dyna balancing beads. Goes right through the valve stem into the inner tube and it balances the tire.
With the valve core removed, install a clip-on air chuck with an inline valve or presettable pressure regulator and a sufficient length of hose to allow the technician to stand outside the trajectory.
Now just a quick touch up on the paint. I'm going to use these flashcards to protect the tire from paint. Alright, that's a wrap. Jobby done. Thanks for checking it out this far along. If you're interested, I'm going to have a lot of renovations coming up on this thing. Feel free to subscribe, like if you care to. Stay tuned. More to come. Thanks a lot.